Thanks everyone for joining us today. We're here to talk about the Developer IPL Challenge, which was a hackathon done for social good. It was a project that was organized and offered through collaboration with great partners, and I think 3 awesome companies: Hacker Earth, Postman, and NIMBELLA. And this morning, I am joined by representatives from these companies. So on the webinar with me is Vishy Shukla. He's the VP of Engineering at Hacker Earth, and also Ankit Sopti. He's the CTO and co-founder of Postman. And I'm Roderick Rabba from NIMBELLA, also one of the co-founders there. So I'd like to just introduce my co-host today. So Vishy is the VP of Engineering at Hacker Earth. He has experience at building very highly agile and motivated teams across several organizations. He worked at Amazon for a bit, and he also leveraged several teams during his stints in India and in the US to build great things. He's been leading technology companies for various startups in the B2B and SaaS space for some time. He's very passionate about growing and mentoring people. And personally, he says he's a foodie and he enjoys spending his time with his pet. He didn't tell me what pet he has. So he'll let us know later. Ankit is the CTO and co-founder of Postman. Postman is an amazing API testing tool, has over 10 million developers today using it. We're big fans of Postman at NIMBELLA, and we use it regularly. So in his previous engineering roles at Adobe and Yahoo, and has experience in product and business development, and currently leads the technology group at Postman. He's a big Neutral Milk Hotel fan and Chelsea football as well. He loves his piano, books, beers, and bacon. So a pleasure to be on this webinar with you both. I wanted to give everybody a chance to talk about this hackathon and sort of what it meant for them, and how we came up with the theme for social good. I think it's a very timely, sort of this hackathon, and given what's happening in the world today. And the idea for this, I think, started among us, and we brought it out to forth. A lot of support from the various teams to do it. So Vishy, do you want to comment a little bit on the hackathon and sort of what excited you about this?
Sure, yeah. I think, at Hacker Earth, obviously, we are used to hosting a lot of hackathons, ourselves being the platform, right? So far, I think we would have hosted well over, 1,500, 1,000 hackathons on the platform. Every other day we have something interesting happening. Something very unique, which kind of, which I wanted to point out about this was, the first part was actually collaboration, right? So NIMBELLA coming along with Postman, 2 terrific ideas, right? And kind of trying to collaborate. I think that is something that we typically leave as an open-ended solutioning problem for our participants. In this case, we actually defined those tools for them, and I think that helps participant to actually create something with a well-defined contours around the solution itself. So I think that was very, very unique, and obviously the whole idea about building something for the social cause is obviously something very close to my heart again, and it was amazing to see the kind of diversity we still saw in the ideas, even after defining, these are the things that you're going to use, or these are the idea, this is the overall social theme. The kind of diversity we still saw in the number of solutions that we actually got to judge was simply amazing. Again, we got about 1,500 developers, I think, to participate overall. So amazing, to see that kind of enthusiasm, and I hope we can repeat this sometime very soon again.
Yep. Very well said.
Awesome.
Ankit?
So first of all, I just wanted to thank NIMBELLA and Hacker Earth for giving us the opportunity to partner with them and set up this hackathon. And also, I think everybody involved who participated to make this a great hackathon. And as Roderick mentioned, right, like there's so much going on in the world right now. We have an ongoing, crippling pandemic that is impacting communities around the world. So many countries, communities around the world are fighting for upholding the fundamentals of democracy right now. Back in California, where we have a headquarters as well, is where we are suffering from some of the worst wildfires in recorded history. And in these sordid times, you often find that sports bring people together. I mean, I guess everybody, at least who was here in 2011, would remember exactly where they were and who they were with when India lifted the World Cup in 2011. So, personally, I mean, honestly, I could not have been more relieved and or excited post lockdown when the IPL began, and as Roderick alluded to earlier, also when the English Premier League began. And I guess like even I mean the fact that RCB is doing better than expected this year also puts a cherry on top on this particular edition of the IPL. Yeah, but this is cricket unifies communities. I think this hackathon was a chance for the folks who participated to build something and benefiting the community, utilizing doing what you know best, which is to build something from nothing. And it's often an art and a skill to actually accomplish that. So I think I wish a good luck to everybody who participated. I think I had a great time judging all the entries, and I think I'm looking forward to seeing the results for this.
Thank you, Ankit. Again, also very well said. I think we're going to get to see a little bit about these projects that were built. But before I do that, I wanted to talk about the prizes and just remind everyone, what we're giving away here is, there's 3 prizes, a grand prize. You get, every team member gets an autographed T-shirt by cricket legend Sachin, and a very significant monetary prize. And there's a gift box, a cricket gift box that was assembled by the collective teams here. I'm told very carefully put together for cricket lovers. And so we're giving that away also as part of grand prize. For the runner-up, the first runner-up, there's a prize again of the cricket gift box and a cash prize. And the third prize is the cricket gift box itself, again, for every individual and team member. How did we select winners? We got a number of entries, and it was very nervous getting into this, just saying, what will people create? How will we judge them? And so we came up with a number of criteria for how we would do the evaluation. And you're seeing here sort of the metrics that we use in both the judging and the deliberation. I think first and foremost, we wanted to encourage people to build interesting applications, consume APIs. The world today is all driven by APIs. And so the technologies were very naturally aligned with that. Postman for using and testing APIs, discovering APIs and how they work, and then deploy to NIMBELLA. Part of the goal here was for us to also learn about our cloud and technology in the hands of developers. Was the project completed in time? How was it structured? Did you open source the code? We had a public voting period for 3 days. And I think what we also spent a good time on is just looking at the utility of the project and imagining the social impact of the projects. And we got a very diverse set of projects. From micro lending using blockchain technology, securing communication, sort of fully encrypted end-to-end, education technology, e-commerce, and virtual reality, sort of being able to sort of, look at the clothes and how they would fit on you, sort of clothes fitment kind of technology using cameras and mobile devices. As you can imagine, as Ankit hinted at, we are in the middle of a pandemic. So there's a lot of COVID awareness projects. Food tracking, looking at sort of the distribution of food in charitable causes and making sure it's going where it's supposed to. A lot of fake news out there, being able to wade through the information, emotional support, so social interactions, community building, very interesting and diverse applications, including rural connectivity. So being able to get IPL scores and predictions where you are, where you might be able to sort of watch, but you have SMS connectivity, be able to sort of follow along with the game that way. And all of these themes fit nicely in my cricket player word doodle. So I was very, very happy to have accomplished that. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Vishy to talk about the 3 winners. We'll start with the third runner-up, with the second runner-up, first runner, and then the grand prize.
Sure. Roderick, just before we actually move on, I don't think we are able to see your slides change. So as you move through the slides, I think we are still, at least that's true for me. I'm not sure.
Ankit,
Yeah, same for me as well.
Okay, let me try one more time. I'm going to just quickly stop and then reshare.
Yeah, sure. If you were in the presentation mode, sometimes that might happen. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was in presentation mode. What about now?
Yeah,
now
now I can see that. Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for that.
All right.
So I'll just, here's my Cricut word doodle that I was so proud of. I think the world needs to see it. All right.
Guys, spend a few minutes just appreciating the beauty of this project has created, then we'll move on. All right. Okay. So, do you want me to go right ahead, Roderick?
Yep.
The announce the second runner-up. Okay.
Yep.
So, first of all, like Roderick was saying, and Ankit also mentioned, we saw great participation from all of you. The kind of ideas that we saw and the implementation that we saw was something really, really good. And needless to say, a lot of good effort has actually gone into producing the kind of output that we saw. Having said that, we had to obviously pick our winners. We had to choose 3 winners out of all the submissions that we got. So with that out of the way, let me announce the second runner-up first. So the team drafters and the project name being Food Tracker, that would be the second runner-up for this hackathon. Congratulations, guys! Really, really well done. When I went through your description and the entire idea, it was really close to some of the causes that I truly believe in. Obviously, it is very contextual to the situation that we have in India. Public distribution system has major loopholes, and the kind of solution that you propose, although it's pretty simple, right? But that kind of simplicity is still needed to be actually implemented on the ground. Right. So given we don't have anything like this, I like the idea and the originality and the simplicity of what you were trying to do. Obviously, the solution from the perspective of completeness was more or less there. Right. You had the beneficiary angle, where people could actually register themselves. And you also had, basically the other side of the marketplace where you had the food suppliers and the distributors. Right. So overall, neatly done job, guys. And very, very well deserved, second runners up position. Roderick, do you want to announce the prize for these guys?
Yeah. So the prize is the Cricut box, which has lots of great swag and gadgets and a hat and other things that I think all Cricut lovers should appreciate, or will appreciate rather.
Great. So all of you guys, Vaibhav, Rimi, Rahul, congratulations once again. I hope you guys continue to do the good work, and hopefully you are able to actually take this idea forward and do something more meaningful, out of what you've already done. Congratulations once again.
Yep. Congrats.
All right. The first runners-up, guys, COVID tool tracker. This was one idea which obviously all of us together really liked. Very, very, very close to the top idea as well. The kind of implementation that we saw, the detailing in the not just in the solution but also in the code base, at the code base level, the usage of both NIMBELLA and the Postman APIs. We were able to actually go through the code and look at those aspects as well. Right. And I think a bunch of things coming together for this solution is what I really like. There was obviously a fact check part of it where you could basically fact check any sort of a news item or a social article. Then I think you had also built some sort of an urgency check, which was great because that basically was tuned towards identifying who needs medical assistance. Right away, right? And that's the kind of decision making that we need to democratize. So great, kudos on coming up with that kind of an idea. Today, if you approach a hospital in these times, most likely, it is going to be full to the brims, and that is when doctors and the hospital staff and the hospital administration has to make this call. And this is a very, very real life problem. I really like the idea that you actually implemented. which was basically based on some very, very simple fundamentals like what is the person's age, what is the severity of the situation or the symptoms that they're facing, and you basically decide programmatically, right? So really love that aspect of your solution, and congratulations. Although it's a one-member team, I believe, Satya, but great job done, guys, Satya, and congratulations once again.
Yep.
Yeah, and just to add one very quick thing, right? Like, I think the other thing I liked about this project was clean user experience, very thoughtfully done, well implemented. I think it's not always easy to do, and I think kudos on just getting that done with that level of finesse in such a short time.
Yeah, and I'd like to see sort of a follow-on to this, publish a blog and talk about this, because I think it's very neat and very practical, maybe future search engines in the works. So the prize here is, again, the care package, the cricket care package, and also a cash prize of 50,000 rupees. So congratulations, Satya. And the top prize, Vishy, back to you.
All right. So the top team here turns out to be Zebra Facebook Messenger Fact Checker, built by Shreya and Vaishnavi. Guys, there was very little that all of us did not like about what you had built. I mean, right from how you conceptualize the idea to the fact that you actually built something which could be used right away, and that was one of the best points about what you did. Right? People don't need to install a new application on their phone. People don't need to actually go to a different website. All they need to do is just log into Facebook and start using it, right? That's the simplicity, and that, I think, makes the entire solution very, very sort of accessible, right? And it's amazing how you guys at your age and at your experience level are able to actually think of such simple solutions of reaching out to millions and millions of people out there. I really love that aspect of your solution. Obviously, the value add in terms of fact checking, in these times is tremendous. Not just due to COVID and all the news around that, but also I think you brought in the angle of election-related news. So whether it is India or US, I think there is election season at both the places, and being world's two largest democracies, these two countries definitely need and definitely can do with some amount of fact checking. So I think great implementation, guys, and very, very well thought through solution, very neatly presented as well. I like the detailed, even in the description that you guys provided. Initially, I wasn't able to actually try it out myself, but I think Roderick tried it out, and we saw the demo video. Overall, great job done, and continue. Actually, I would want you guys to take this forward and make this into a real product. Feel free to ping us back at Hacker Earth, and we'll be happy to help in whatever way we can.
Yeah, very well said. Ankit, anything you want to add?
I mean, again, I think similar thoughts to what Vishy had, right? Like, Shreya and Vaishnavi, like, great job. I think it was a really well thought through product, and I think the implementation was great. And I think I also went to the code base, and the level of depth that was thought through while building out a bot, pretty much, from the ground up, was really well done. So I think congratulations again, and great job.
Yeah, and I hope I had to create a special Facebook account for this because I'm not a very big Facebook user. And, being in the election, 1 week from the election in the US, I naturally tried lots of election-related search terms. And it's very nice to sort of, get the news with the fact check right there, so you know which stories to read and maybe which stories, are to your level of, of interest. So very pragmatic. Very interesting, very good use of technologies and APIs that are available, and really impressive to sort of put this all together in a short amount of time that there was. Testament both to the team and maybe also to the technology that was used both with Postman and the API discovery, and for NIMBELLA in terms of the deployment and allowing developers to really focus on the ideas that they wanted to bring forth. So it's very reassuring and interesting from a Nimbella perspective, we learned an immense amount from the developer feedback. I'm incredibly thankful for everybody who participated, all the great questions we got. There was a Slack channel where over 100 participants joined, and there were constant questions in there during the hackathon. I hope a lot of that will carry forward. You've learned a bit about these technologies. It was completely new to some, right? This was serverless technology, and you know, a lot of the participants had either never heard of it or just weren't familiar with it. So, you know, questions about how do I reboot my server, and sort of aha moments we would see where it was like, oh, there's no server to reboot. I just push my code and it's live. So we got a lot of good feedback. We have a lot of work to do on really polishing the experience. But it was great to see that, you know, interesting applications can be built in a short amount of time and can do some social good. I look forward to what some of these projects will do into the future. The top prize, again, just as a reminder, is 100K rupees that will be shared by the team, and the 2 signed autographed T-shirts by the cricket legend, Sachin. So at this point, that concludes our presentation. Congratulations to everybody who won. I'll give my co-hosts just some final words if they'd like to add before we sign off.
Ankit?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I just lost your connection for a bit. Can you repeat that, please?
I was just offering an opportunity to say any final words before signing off.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So, I mean, great stuff, everyone. I think it was a pleasure. It's one of the better hackathons that I've been a part of, to be very honest. And I think it was a pleasure going through the project, going through the level of depth that was exhibited, especially for you know, set of topics that were hard but much needed. And I think kudos to everybody who was involved. And yeah, very happy to have participated here, both individually and as a company.
Thank you, Ankit. Roderick, I just wanted to add one last thing. You know, obviously we have announced 3 winners, but you know, it's needless to say that the rest of you also put in a lot of hard work. And what I would want to actually leave you guys with is that you know, you just go through and sort of follow the instructions pretty much to the T when it comes to such hackathons, and that just increases the chances of you winning. Obviously, the ideas were great, and some of the implementations were also very close to being winners themselves. So with that, I'd like to say thank you, and thank you for giving us at HackerEarth this opportunity to actually host this you know, hackathon on our platform. Thank you to Postman team, thank you to Nimbella, and thank you to all of you.
Yeah, and this was my first experience with a hackathon this large, and I think HackerEarth really made it smooth to run and operate. And there's a lot of team members behind the scenes that made this possible in terms of answering questions, putting together all the information, rolling out the contest, and all the social media and FAQ that we ran. So also a big thanks to the team that made this possible. And of course, wouldn't have been possible without all the participants who jumped in and wanted to use their skills and the technology available to really make an impact in the world. So proud to have participated in this along with everybody. Thanks again.